Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we brought a friend.
Dear friend of the pod, he made fun of us and his life spiraled downwards.
Downwards.
Yeah.
What was that for? Oh, for Dee's birthday.
Yeah.
He made a mock video of the pod where he played each of us as characters, and ever since then, his life has been falling apart.
Yeah, Josh Kaplan is here to talk about his spiraling downward.
So Josh Kaplan, if you don't know, is the CEO of New Republic. What's the position on the new thing?
It's run CEO.
CEO of New Republic?
CEO of everything.
CEO of Melrose Place?
Talk about the two-job hustle.
Yeah.
If you're wondering how D has so much time to make content, it's because Josh is the CEO of everything. We're going to talk to Josh.
And he's right-leaning. It's just,
It's good.
Yeah.
You want the CEO to be right-leaning.
We finally got a balanced take.
It's true. I think in a company, you want your marketing and design team to be left-leaning. You want your CEO to be right-leaning. Yeah. At least your CFO. Okay. We're kidding. Sorry.
Sorry, Stephanie.
Anyway, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a recent trip that Josh took to North Carolina to a
that
golf
opened his eyes.
country club. It opened his eyes. He liked the way things were sounding out there. He
He said it was very safe.
And we'll tell you what side of the political spectrum they landed on. Anyway, but we're going to talk about the launch of your guys' new brand.
Yes.
Melrose Place. Then we have a lot of news. Okay, we're going to talk about Trump and Biden. I mean, what are we looking like? What are the polls saying? Who even does polls? I don't know. But are we neck and neck? Is someone pulling away?
Message us if you've ever been polled. I don't know one person who's ever been polled.
Not only do I not know someone who's ever answered a poll, I don't know anyone who's ever seen a poll.
No.
Anyway, but the polls are saying, well, we're going to talk about what the polls are saying.
Yes.
Also, someone is saying that Trump has an 87% chance to win. So we're going to talk about that too.
Woo!
We're also going to talk about 50 Cent hopping in and getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about hot mics and what I'll call hot cameras.
Yes.
Which is where maybe you don't know that microphone you're podcasting on is recording. We had a few of those this episode.
Yeah.
Luckily, Tim's going to cut them out.
There was a few things that exploded over the last 24 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God.
Don't use that terminology. And what Dee is referring to is you got to be extra careful these days on those Zoom calls with the company, okay? Because things get a little weird. And last but not least, we got a couple people in some hot water, some people in trouble. We got some fines. We got some antitrust lawsuits. Mm-hmm. It's getting serious.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're going to end with As Seen on Social. And of course, our beloved shout outs to all of our Kathys. Everyone ready?
Indeed.
Let's go.
Let's group chat.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, we got Josh. So Josh, there's two things I want to talk to you about. But first thing is, and then there's a lot we want to talk to you about, but I have two specific questions.
Okay.
Number
And
one.
then you can get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
then I'll shut up. Number one, we're too long.
Oh yeah. To be clear, that's group chat episodes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Too long?
Thank you.
Penis size.
You never know.
Yeah.
You got to clarify, especially with this news story that we're talking about today.
No,
We know how long a certain CNN reporter is.
Yeah.
What I will say is, as a longtime group chat listener, I'm finding it taking more and more of my time each day.
So that's a good thing.
And
we're
so
slowly invading your life.
it's kind of, I'm losing the battle for group chat to win the war of my
It's like
attention.
social dilemma.
Yeah.
You know, one day they're going to sit down and be like, I at first was a small-time Kathy.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, my family started asking what's wrong with me. I wasn't cutting my hair.
Yeah.
And I was spending 10 hours a day consuming group chat content.
Pretty much.
Okay, so listen, we're working on shortening our episodes. We got a couple notes lately. Paul Ripke was not happy.
No.
So we're going to try to shorten these episodes a little bit.
Here's my view.
Okay.
Shorter episodes till the vaccine. When the vaccine comes, we're full blown back.
Because more commuting and
Everyone's gonna be stuck in traffic all day.
Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna go back to your
that's a good
gym.
point.
You're gonna go back to
And we'll see what happens to downloads.
yeah.
If they're up,
Yeah.
we'll go shorter.
Yeah.
10-minute episodes.
10 minutes.
If they're down, 2 hours.
Jeffrey Toobin jerked off. Trump is gonna lose the election. Blah, 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 blah.
And have a nice day.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I will say? I got a ton of personal feedback from friends that listen to the podcast as well
Yep.
on how great the bonus 20-minute debate episode was.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Yeah, I think those bonus
So
episodes
maybe
are good.
more of those. Shorter 20 minutes of just going nuts on a particular topic. And then the regular episodes maybe stay a nice 45
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if we could do 45, I think that's the right time.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing, Josh, is we talked about it on the pod. I just wanted to get a quick soundbite because, as you know, we don't have much time. You were assaulted on Wilshire,
Yeah.
I was, yeah, wow.
and you were told to go back to your country,
What country are you from?
Indiana.
Because you look white as shit.
Yeah, I grew up in New York.
Yeah.
So
Get your ass back to New York.
yeah, I guess I have to get my ass back there. Well, what's funny is for me, I've had a rough month. It all went downhill after Dee's 40th birthday,
Yeah.
right? Because I did the group chat parody.
Yes, yes.
That was great.
Yes.
And
Karma. Don't make fun of us.
And then,
Careful.
after that, a month later, I landed on as a loser of the week.
yes.
I actually had to share loser of the week with Azerbaijan. So
Even
I didn't
worse.
even get full loser.
Yeah.
Like a terrorist organization, terrorist
Josh.
country, and Josh.
So it's been a rough one for me.
And he's a thief. The book you got me, Blood and Oil, about MBS, he stole.
I did steal that. I brought it back on it, to be fair. I did bring it back for you, but I absolutely stole it.
And you didn't get to read it.
No.
Oh man, this is not going
I got
well.
so excited to read it,
Yep.
and yeah, it's gone now. I did get attacked. I will say, so for those that didn't listen to that episode, I was walking outside of our office here and was essentially accosted by a Proud Boy, which as a Caucasian felt strange.
Yeah.
You're proud too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of you guys.
Yeah. Can't we all be proud?
What I will say
Isn't
is,
the founder Hispanic?
yeah, it's definitely a very strange time. What I will say is I went to North Carolina this weekend
Just to make sure you're white.
and just to check in with
Check in
the
with your
fellow
white
Motherland.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
and
Am I still good here?
the mentality, and we were in Pinehurst, which is not, one of the bigger cities where you'd imagine that there's a lot of diversity. It was.
Were you at one of the fancy country clubs?
We were at the Pinehurst Resort, to play golf.
That's private, not public, or it is?
That I don't know. I think we were staying there,
Got it.
and so we had access to the courses. I don't know if the courses have public access.
Ew.
Every single house that we saw within a 30-mile radius had a Trump flag. Every single one of them.
Wow.
Having said that, I felt safer there than I do in Los Angeles.
Wow. Because
And
of the
what-
Trump flags.
You like the Law and Order.
Okay, so
people.
you're a manga
No,
guy.
no,
You're a
no.
Law and Order
Sorry.
manga guy.
Yeah.
Meant safer.
Go back to your
in
country.
No, in the lack of
Carolina,
ignorance. I
turns
think
out.
it was actually it felt more, there were a lot of, there was a lot of political talk around dinner tables and things like tangentially around our group. And it was a more balanced and educated debate than I've witnessed in the small passing around Los Angeles.
All right, let's hear some
You
of the
took
thoughts.
a
Let's
trip
see-
to North Carolina, and now you're a Republican.
Yeah.
Can we
I
hear some of
would
the
say
Tax
that
rates
now.
are driving you nuts. in
He's like, I like
California.
their
I gotta get
views.
the
No, I'm
I
actually
like the way they
genuinely
talk.
curious. What was the balanced discussion?
A big one was actually the Biden's tax plan. So we had heard a few guys that ended up being from Cleveland, Ohio, that were debating at the dinner table about how, it really does come down to dollars and cents. And the argument was, do you feel comfortable with all of the negative effects in addition to potentially, saving some money, if you will? And that was the argument. It was healthy. It was, it's an evil that one guy said is a necessary evil. Another guy said it's not worth it to me. I'd rather, vote with my heart than my wallet.
Meaning that person was a Biden supporter.
Correct.
Got it.
And so it felt a lot more reasonable, where it wasn't just
Yelling.
I'm a Republican. There's nothing you can say or do to change my mind, right? I know we had discussed and separately on the podcast that there's no changing people's minds now, right?
Yeah.
That's been the strangest thing about October in general, is that there's nothing that can happen that someone's going to say, well, you know what? Finally, Trump did put me over the edge and I'm a Biden supporter. Or, Sleepy Joe has finally changed my mind. He's not worth voting for. And I think that was the healthy debate that I witnessed as a third party. And I thought, all right, that's interesting. It's not just
It's not so cancel-y.
correct.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, listen, we don't have any time to go deeper into it. So, so what else
I'd
are
love
we
to hear
talking
more,
about?
but reach out to Josh Kaplan and talk to him about it.
Yeah, please.
I had three more thoughts, but I'm gonna shut up because
Good.
we
For
have
the
to hit
second time,
45
we're
minutes.
moving on. Okay, so what are we talking about?
So we're talking about Melrose Place, the new brand we just launched.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So Josh came on the podcast a little over a year ago because he came in to run New Republic. And then the last kind of year, we've been toying with this idea about launching this new concept. And then Josh kind of spearheaded it and really helped kind of finalize it and launch it. So
How'd you get the trademark?
unbelievable story.
I mean, hell of a trademark.
This is a good story.
3 years ago, we did a pop-up at Alfred's Coffee.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there. I would go in there every weekend and just watch people walk and shop. And I was like, man, I wonder if we just put Melrose Place. Like, I'm a big fan of buying brands at like if you go to James Purse at the Miramar in Santa Barbara, you would buy a Montecito or Santa Barbara t-shirt, right?
Yep.
I love like the localized thing.
Totally.
So APC was selling some Melrose Place t-shirt. I was like, we should just do a Melrose Place hoodie, just like exclusive merch for the pop-up. Yeah. So we did it. Fast forward, we just started poking around. I'm like, I wonder if that became our best-selling item there.
Yep.
Like, I wonder if the trademark's available. Melrose Place, for those that don't know, was a television show in the 90s. A huge television show. Aaron Spelling. Aaron Spelling obviously had the trademark for Melrose Place. For apparel, it lapsed. So we went and filed it. And then they were like, look, as long as you don't reference the television show, you're more than welcome to use it. Yeah. So we were like, great. So we filed the trademark, got the mark. And now, if you use Melrose Place, I'm coming for your motherfucking ass.
Yeah, that's good. So if you were a year ago.
C and D.
Yeah, you're handing out C and D, E.
Yeah. APC, boom. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And to be clear, we do have an agreement with Spelling.
Yeah.
In place. So there are, stipulations where like we stay far away from the show. Yeah. And we have apparel as our lane.
Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, line up the C&Ds.
Yeah.
You could have a whole C&D business.
I think
people make good money off of that.
I think I might just walk up and down the street. just with the letter. Boom.
You give me 10,000. You give me 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Maybe the whole business is C&D business.
Yeah. Okay, so
should I stop making apparel?
I mean, there's hedge fund activists.
Just make a couple shirts and get good lawyers.
There's hedge fund activists that literally do this for a living.
Yeah.
They target companies with strong balance sheets, acquire companies that they feel like infringed on a patent. So they acquire some shitty small company and go after the big company with the large cash balance.
I like that.
Okay.
That's maybe should be my business.
Hey, that might be our episode next year about Melrose Place. Depends on how business goes. So when's it launching?
So we had run a pilot. We launched in the Menlo Club back in August. Yep. And it was, by all definitions, a roaring success. And just to give really quick background, so Melrose Place is effortless luxury knitwear. Mm-hmm. So
that sounds sexy.
It does,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
T-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, everything that we make is really high quality fabric, cut in a way that's super comfortable, but not sweats, right? Mm-hmm. So I think when we look at the world we live in today, I mean, Dee's been wearing asphalt pants for 3 months now.
Yeah, every single day.
What he is wearing is a Melrose Place hoodie, asphalt pants, and the New Republic shoes. The idea is that he can go anywhere and do anything and feel comfortable in that. And so,
thank you.
And you look great.
Thank you.
Right? So that's really the vision.
About it is you're still kind of being lazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it.
No, that's the whole thing. I'm fooling people.
Yeah.
I'm lazier than ever.
It's the graduation from athleisure, right?
No, that's the difference. We're at leisure.
Drop the
H.
That's a new TM. So not only C&Ds for Melrose, but
we're getting at leisure.
We're gonna get at leisure.
I'm very at leisure.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
But it's true. I think you look at a Lululemon, everything still looks athletic. You know what I mean? Like even the pants, the shirts, like the technical fabrics have that sheen to it. Yeah. Where you still know, like athleisure is still athletic. It just looks less. Yeah. Athletic, and
stop lying, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just own it.
Yeah, you're just fake ass yoga.
Yeah.
whatever person.
I struggle when out of shape people use athleisure as their daily clothes because you're putting on this facade that you're this fitness guru.
Oh,
Well,
that's so
there's no
common.
facade when you see the rolls. Okay.
Yeah, but that's common. That's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
You're skipping the gym and just throwing on some leggings. You're like, I look fit, right?
Yeah. Like I see a lot of those, a lot of men specifically wear those like quarter zip mock neck. I'm kind of athletic. You know, your crowd, the golfing crowd.
Yeah.
They're
a lot.
big of those. The
Yeah, for sure.
John
There were a lot of
Daly
those.
looking guys.
It's
I
all
did
a lot.
wear Patagonia at least once this weekend. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you had to.
You had to fit in.
When in
Yeah.
Rome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do people need to know? Where do we look out for? How do we find it?
So we had launched it back in August with the Menlo Club, and then we officially launched the brand to the public on Friday. And so you can head over to melroseplaceco.com. And, you know, we're really proud of what we put together. It's a unisex brand, so we have some incredible women's product as well. As I said, crew necks, hoodies, T-shirts. Everything is vintage inspired. So when I say that, I mean it should look and feel like a shirt you've worn 100, 1,000 times, but it's brand new. And so that's we believe that there are a lot of brands that are addressing that market, right? That faux vintage kind of, you know, it looks like it, but you can buy it off the rack. And we don't believe anyone's doing it as well as we can. We've had tremendous success with attacking the same concept with New Republic, right? Finding an effortlessly casual but comfortable and stylish shoe at a price that's not insane. And that's really all we're doing is taking our same playbook and applying it to a category that we're already wearing every day. I look around, every one of us is wearing, you know, T-shirt or hoodie or jeans. And it really is that simple. It's like just making a better product. And we like to think that there's space for it.
Yeah. I'm excited. And, you know, it's really hard to get a fucking discount code out of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my next question.
He's not a big discount code guy.
No, never.
I tried for probably 6 weeks to get a $10 off coupon for Kathy's.
Yeah, and
So we're going to stick our Kathy's?
No. I put him kind of on the spot here, and he was like, okay, yeah.
Josh, I mean, Josh.
From my cold, dead hands.
We understand
He
the
goes to
tax
North Carolina
thing.
once. He's
Yeah.
law and order, no taxes,
Real
no
conservative
discount.
all of a
discount.
sudden.
He felt
Poor stay the
safe.
poor.
Uh-huh.
He
money,
felt
my
safe
choice.
criticizing Biden's tax plan.
Yeah.
That's as MAGA as it
Yeah,
gets.
yeah, he's conservative now.
Yeah.
With discount codes, with taxes, with all of it.
His discount code is 3% off.
With code MAGA.
MAGA NC.
It's code carried interest.
Yeah, exactly. Long-term capital gains.
No, in all seriousness, Pete, to be fair to every Kathy that has purchased New Republic with that code, Pete paid for you.
Yeah.
So it was just through time and, you know, chores around the office.
Yeah.
So, you know, the money had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And what I can say is Dee rightfully has argued for the Kathys. We are going to offer 25% off
Wow.
to Kathy's from Melrose Place. Pete will absolutely work that off.
That's
I
very
promise
Biden
that.
of you.
Yeah.
That's almost
Socialism.
like AOC territory.
Yeah, socialism.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders over here.
And
He's
Dee,
playing both sides. In North Carolina, he's like, fuck
Five
Biden's
people.
tax
yeah,
plan.
yeah. We'll see what he does at the ballot box. I don't trust what he says when he walks
This
out.
is the silent majority we're scared of.
It is. It is. Things just felt better in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
it just felt safe.
It just made
you know,
more
just
sense.
me as a white male just walking around
it was like
golfing,
law and
golfing
also
with buddies.
order.
You and your
Drinking
freaking golf
IPAs.
trips.
Me in North Carolina, like, I see why we don't want to give refugees asylum here. I get it.
We need a wall from South Carolina.
Yeah.
We don't even want
Come
those
on.
people here.
Cages. Were they really in cages? I mean, let's be honest. Obama did it too.
your favorite radical left podcast, everybody.
Was Obama even born here?
Yeah. Was it Kenya?
Hussein? Not sure. Josh, what's the code?
The code is group chat.
Nice. Okay,
And-
and it's effective when?
Today, we'll make sure it's effective as soon as this podcast goes live.
Okay.
And
When's
so,
that?
yeah, it's group chat. It's melroseplaceco.com.
Yep.
And to be clear, since my wife Stephanie is also a Kathy, I did vote for Biden.
Okay, well, all right.
Okay.
When
Already
you're
done.
trying to prove to her, or what was that?
No, because she will say, she goes, now everyone thinks that
You're a mom.
Oh, yeah. We're good at that.
Do you give a
we
picture?
have reputation stuff.
causing chaos.
You got fundraising to do. You can't be thinking.
We're gonna have a lot of trouble with our old friends in
Fundraising
the
might be
VC
easier
community.
if you got one MAGA guy.
Oh God!
You need one.
Just go down to Lucky Palmer's house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Newport Beach.
He's shelling out money.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, people do call, and not me, but people call a lot of the California VCs dumb money.
Yeah.
Those are the ignorant people that would think that California would be a red state. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I do think it's important to understand, not to be as political, I'll let you guys do that, but it's really just about being smart and educated and about the process and make your own decisions, of course. But
Yeah, I mean, speaking to that, I mean, are you sticking around or are you leaving?
I can stick around.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're on.
right, so
we're
there
Am
it
I
is.
the reason why this
25%
will
off.
be another hour and a half long
Yeah, you
podcast?
might be.
No, we're not allowed. We got a German breathing down our necks.
Yeah.
25% code group chat starting now. When's
Yes.
it end?
Oof.
Never.
November
When
3rd?
Pete stops working for it. We'll give it a week or two.
Yeah.
Deal. All right. News.
Yes.
What did you have one you wanted to bring up? That
No,
was
I mean, we're gonna get into it, but it goes into what Josh is saying. But let's just dive in.
North Carolina.
Yeah, that's why I want to. That's why I wanted
my
to start with
God.
that.
So let's go back to Josh's hometown. Even though the part that you were in was all Trump, which I'm sure there's a lot of that, seems like we're sort of neck and neck.
Yeah.
I am so curious because I'll just say our next story is this stock market guru is saying that Trump has an 87% chance of reelection. There's other people saying that the stock market is saying Biden is going to get elected. I think Biden's going to win, but I truly don't know.
So the red herrings for the Democratic side is
Explain what red herring is,
no, just okay, fine.
or use a different word.
You got,
Either
maybe
explain
blue
it-
herring.
Yeah.
We don't want it political.
Yeah.
So a signal for the Democratic side that isn't positive, the only thing I've seen so far, is the registered Republicans in some of the swing states outnumbered the increase of registered Democrats. So that silent majority in certain states.
What state was that?
I think Arizona was one of them.
So there was more new registered Republicans, net new.
Yeah. And that was a handful of states. I don't know the states off the top of my head. So that was one thing that Republicans are holding on to. Like, look, like everyone sees the national polls, but we also have to be very clear. Hillary Clinton, 18 days out in 2016, was a 91% chance of winning, which is similar to what Biden is now if you look at like 538 or any of these polls. I think one thing that everyone got wrong in 16 was the national polls were right and the state polls were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that could happen again.
So I've been paying attention
But
to.
who does polls?
Yeah, who's asked? Like,
Who fills out a guy?
So there's a guy,
it's similar to Nielsen ratings. They talk to 1,000 people and extrapolate that for 300 million.
but there's going to be a poll that got it right.
And that's why, like, everyone can just throw out, like, this stock market guru, it's like dead clock right 2 times a day.
Yeah.
If he just says that he's right again, he's the smartest guy
Yeah, we
in the
need
world.
group chat polls. We just asked 5 people.
Yeah.
Say group chat polls are showing this.
Yeah. We just make a bold prediction. And if
40%
we're right,
of people are saying.
we take credit. If we're wrong, just delete it.
So in
Yeah,
Texas,
if you're wrong, you just sort of skew the way you reported it.
Yeah. We're within the margin of error of
Within the margin of error.
50%.
Yeah.
the
Margin of error is
only,
100%.
only thing that I see that's clearly favoring Democrats is voter turnouts up. That is like a fact across the country, across every swing state,
Isn't early voting through the roof?
through the roof. That could also be potentially because of COVID, because they don't want to go in person.
Yeah.
But voter turnout is going to be probably the highest ever
Yeah.
in a national election.
Percentage of the population will probably be the highest ever.
And the more people that vote, the more it favors Democrats.
Yeah.
The demographic shift in the United States is we are left leaning, not by a lot, by a little.
Yeah.
And that's just the facts. So the more people that vote, the more likely Democrats to win. The less people that vote, more likely Republicans are going to win.
Yeah. And I think when you take these, like North Carolina is a very important state where Josh is from.
Yeah.
Florida is a very important state. Like I saw one electoral college prediction with Trump winning. Trump winning 315 electoral
Yeah,
college.
sure,
But he's
say it
giving
all, yeah.
he's giving North Carolina, Florida, Wisconsin, every state.
Yeah, you give Wisconsin, Ohio. So Georgia and Texas are in play, which is probably the first time ever in a presidential election that those two states are in play. I mean, at this point, you could tell me anything. Trump wins narrowly or Biden wins in the biggest landslide ever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a scenario where Biden loses by a landslide.
Right.
No. That would be, I mean,
If that happens, the country is very different than.
well, here's
That's what 2016 felt like, though. Remember 2016 was like, what? I don't even live in the place I thought I lived.
But 2016, I'll tell you, like Hillary Clinton ran an awful campaign. They stopped campaigning in Wisconsin.
$1,000,000%.
They stopped
I'm just
running
saying-
ads. They stopped running ads in swing states. They
Yeah.
took everything for granted. They were like, it's over.
Yeah.
Let's start packing our administration.
Agreed.
Let's pack the cabinet with who we want. And I don't think Biden's team is
No.
going to do that.
No.
They just seem, I mean, they won the primary when no one thought they had a shot.
yeah.
They're clearly the best campaign out there.
I agree. All I'm saying is I've been dumbfounded before.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion for like a vast majority of like the pollsters to say that there's no chance Donald Trump wins, right? I think people do believe that there's a outside shot, and every day that goes by, I don't think there's any news at this point. Like I think Donald Trump's trying to play the same playbook he played last time, which was kind of say, I'm shaking up the establishment, Hunter Biden this, Joe Biden that, they're past. His punchlines are not working. His shtick got old.
I mean, he's still using lock 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Hunter Biden thing is just the same.
And I actually think
playbook
it's
of
going
lock
to
her up.
backfire because he dealt with drug problems.
Yeah.
And with the opioid crisis like ravaging swing states,
Yeah.
I think that's going to turn people off.
Yeah. It's all guessing. I also just see the response that his stupid, like, I beat COVID. It was nothing. The country will beat it the way that I beat it under me. Like, you want the country to look like me? Vote me in. And, like, people really back that.
Yeah.
Like, they really get behind his
I'll-
whatever the hell he did with steroids, or like, I got to give it to him.
Yeah. No, I
Because
think
that ended up being the best thing,
So-
another best Hail Mary, other than the rioting and the looting.
I agree. I think that does have, because I do see a lot of people that on social media, just my own friends, that are so frustrated because of the last 7-8 months that they feel that reason why we're in that, and this is where I think they're so misconstrued, is they keep blaming Gavin Newsom. This is talking about California, which is Gavin Newsom and Eric Garcetti for the reason why we're locked down. Right? And the reason why these draconian measures to hold down the American people, they are only acting on the fact that the president of the United States didn't act fast enough that put us all in a very dangerous position. And there's a group of the population that has forgotten about the virus. The virus has not forgotten about us. That's the problem.
Yeah,
And
Pete forgot, I think, in May.
I'll tell you some fucked up news. My uncle just died today from COVID in India.
Really?
Yes. Just today, this morning.
Did he have pre-existing conditions? How old?
He was 80 years old. And obviously, like, he's just an old man.
Yeah.
But like,
But wasn't like suffering from.
No, he had a stroke the year before, so he definitely
yeah.
lies in that pre-existing. So I mean, the virus ravages vulnerable communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like no question about it. But what your point earlier was that you have the vast majority of the population that is younger, that is like, why are we still locked down? And I bet Trump has convinced some of them that like on the right
100%.
side, because if you keep Newsom and listening to Newsom and Garcetti, you're never going to get your life back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an expert at spinning. The narrative is whatever he says it is.
Yeah. And I think the problem is specifically, I think the only advantage he has in psyche is, I don't even think it's taxes. I literally think it's COVID, that I will give you your life back.
But Law and Order, I would say Law and Order, what Biden will do to taxes, and I recovered from COVID and the country will too under me,
Yes.
is like a triple threat.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why we're on lockdown is because that moron didn't act early enough and close down the country, didn't mandate a national mask rule. We wouldn't even be in this situation. No. And then all the expert Twitter idiots who are talking about Sweden, who has like right behind America in deaths and hospitalization, their Sweden experiment of just letting the fuckery continue hurt them. Yeah. Now that place is in shambles. Yeah.
So you've said this before. Wars are good for business, right? That's essentially what's happening, is that we are fighting a war on two fronts. It's a war against this virus, and we're also in the civil war of, my side is right, your side is wrong. Yeah. And that, I think, that's the momentum.
But the problem is I agree, war is great when it unifies against a common enemy.
Right. The problem is the enemies are against each other.
And that's why that actually backfires against Trump, in my opinion, is because if he was smart, he would have just kept playing the China game. Right. Because I think you could convince almost all Americans to say, China interfered in our election. China raised our tariffs. China did this. China did that. He may have had a better strategy with that. China caused the reason why your life got shut down. Instead, he's saying your Democratic governor caused it.
Yeah.
And the only reason why the governors and the mayors had to do what they did, because you did nothing.
But you know what the problem is? If you think about it from a political calculation, it's the only thing he can do. Yeah. He won in 2016 because of polarization. So he's tripling down on polarization. Yeah. It's just the message isn't resonating the way it resonated in 2016.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything else to run on. All he can run on is bringing out anger and a percentage of the population. And it's like, that's the guy. I'm angry and he's angry with me.
But think about the combination of your first ever president, as far as I know, that instead of talking about a foreign enemy, all the enemies are internal. Yeah. We have not talked about the Taliban. We haven't talked about ISIS. We haven't talked about any of that shit.
Because that would have unified the country if you talked about a common enemy. And he could have easily pegged against China.
Here's the problem, right? If you actually if you're Donald Trump, if you actually do that and say Taliban, ISIS, he's so poorly read that if he started talking about this, he's not equipped with the facts to actually talk about it intelligently. Yeah. So then you just get crushed. Yeah. But if you just what he does know how to do is play on people's emotions. Yeah. And that's what he's doing again. He's running the same playbook over.
But think about that so now you've done that for 4 years. You have now created so much polarization in the country as never before. And then when you throw on top of it social media and the fact that that's sort of built to magnify all of that, it's just insanity. It's just crazy to think that this is the first time that the president has nonstop talked about, the leftists and the rioters and the protesters and leftist Democrats or mayors and governors. And it's like all of it is internal.
Yeah.
And it's caused literally people to be so polar. I don't... Even if Biden does win, I'm just so curious. You can't rile people up for 4 years and then just be like, oh, they're gone.
I mean, that's one of the next topics was there was an article in the Wall Street Journal how next door neighbors with opposing political views are staying friends. Because if you go down Paul's neighborhood where he lives in Newport Beach, he said there's
North
Biden's.
Carolina. Yes. Same amount of signs as North Carolina.
Right? And I often find that very interesting, the dynamic, and I'd love to hear from listeners on that. It's you're sitting here in your neighborhood, right? Put yourself out of LA or New York where it's not very neighborly type community.
That's what we forget is in our day-to-day, there's pretty much no signs in yards. Yeah. Maybe a little bit in yours.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I went looking for one. I saw one in an apartment
in
building.
Normal neighborhoods, they're on every lawn, I think.
Yeah.
I live in Hancock Park. There's not a single sign anywhere in the neighborhood except Black Lives Matter. Everywhere.
Yeah. Whereas North Carolina, probably Ohio, where I'm from, it's probably every yard.
And I think, when you look at, so that's what I'm saying, let's leave LA and New York, the major cities, the metropolitan. Yep. You look at suburbia and you're sitting there putting your sign up, your neighbor's putting opposing view signs up. And the problem is in today's kind of, environment, I don't even understand because is so different in the way you view the world. It's why it makes it so challenging. I'm very curious. These neighbors are saying like, we've found a way to like found common ground and stay friends.
Yep.
But it's really hard. I don't even know how people are going to do it post-election, who regardless of who's win, you had one sign here, this other person had this other sign there. You clearly, in normal setting, if you went and talked to like about those things, you'd be screaming and yelling.
Yep.
Yeah, because the difference in 2020, because of the polarization, is you have the top 0.01% voting for Trump purely on taxes. That's the real silent majority.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm making $400 million this year. I'm not
Yeah.
giving 200 to California, right?
Yeah.
That's one group, and then it's just, I mean, he wins with non-college educated voters.
Yeah.
That's where Trump wins.
Yeah.
And that's just purely preying on people's emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what one of the things, so 50 Cent posted yesterday.
Oh, let me just say quickly
Yeah.
for our listener, because I
Yeah.
think it's really good. The story that we're talking about is two neighbors were side by side. One had a Trump sign, the other had a Biden sign.
Yeah.
But they wrote a sign next to it that said, "We love them," with an arrow to the left, and "We
Yeah.
love them" with an arrow to the right. It said "One Nation" in the heart. So it's, I know it might come off a little corny, but it actually looks cool. And in the moment of like, to Dee's point, we're like, now what? You hate your neighbor?
Yeah.
Having that one little sign of like, we still care about each other, or like we're still humans, is so like revolution. I mean, that's a Wall Street Journal post, because it's so revolutionary that two neighbors write "We heart you" to each other.
And it just made the bar of what unity looks like so low. Like, I can tolerate my neighbor now.
Yeah.
Yes,
all it
I
takes.
hate everything he stands for.
Yeah.
But you know what? I heart him.
Yeah, we heart them.
And it's really scary post the election what the country looks like, regardless of who the president is, because you're gonna have a shitload of angry people either way.
It's gonna be determined by what Fox News turns into in a post-Trump world. Because Fox News is the biggest of all the networks, right?
Yeah.
They get the most viewership, and not saying MSNBC is a saint, because all they do is left bullshit too, right? They're not giving down the middle. CNN, that guy's just for ratings. He created The Apprentice. He doesn't give a fuck about left or right. It's ratings and debt tolls and whatever. What scares me is I think we weren't as polarized as we thought we were in like 08, 2012.
Yeah.
Because Barack Obama would not win so convincingly under the Electoral College if we were this polarized.
Yeah.
He even said, when I talked about this on a couple episodes ago, how he's like, I couldn't go to Southern Illinois, which looks more like Kentucky and Tennessee, and win those votes. Today.
Yeah.
He's like, they view the world through the lens of Fox News.
Yeah.
So that same person in a post-Trump era, what's Fox? I'm really curious. Like, what are your predictions? What's Fox News gonna?
So
if Trump loses in a landslide, Fox News just has to go full on OANN, like conspiracy.
So let me just say, I don't know, because I don't know what happens to the Republican Party as a whole. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even guess. But my biggest question is kind of on top of yours is, what happens to Trump? He's not going to shut up. He is a fame-loving psychopath that now has, in his mind, half the country loving him. What if he just keeps doing rallies?
So
I think but I think it's just law of diminishing returns. He just goes to the fringes.
But what if not? What if not?
Because he'll lose the money behind it. Right now, he's
in power. I know, but you could do he could do a show.
He would literally become Alex Jones.
Because here's the thing. Let's just say this. Let's say he doesn't do that. What's he going to do? Go back to real estate?
No, I think
he's just going to avoid prosecution.
Yeah, I think it's full time. If
just run, just run.
If
go
the
to
president
countries with no extradition.
Exactly. Honestly, if the president is Joe Biden, the Senate is blue, the House is blue.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi is putting that motherfucker in jail.
No, I'm telling you, they're going after Kushner. They're not putting an ex-president. They're like I think
she's in
a post-Trump era. I have the false hope. I hope it's not false hope, not unity. That's just civility. Let's just put this chapter behind us.
No fucking way. He tormented them.
I think Nancy Pelosi would put him in jail.
Yes, if she had,
if she could get away with it. Yeah.
I don't think. I'm just telling you. This is like. It's like the Democrats were the nerds in the locker room that got shoved into the locker the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you bullied us, you shitting on us. And I'm just saying, like, it's the revenge of the nerds time. And it's like, oh, we have all the power now. Guess what? We're going after everybody.
You think Trump can keep quiet on social media?
But no, he can't. Of course not. But the smart political move from the Democratic side is if it really is a blue wave, that indicates that what everyone's theorized that the demographics have actually shifted actually is true. So then just execute on policy. You're going to be in power for a long time until Republicans get their act together. Because Republicans aren't going to get their act together in 4 years.
No.
I'm just saying, like, it's the Proud Boys and QAnon on steroids if Donald Trump is active talking to that.
Yeah, I think the militia groups will be on a rise. Reddit boards will be going crazy.
And he'll be saying to every decision, everything made, I would have done that different. This is stupid.
That's why they have to go full board legal prosecution on him so that it occupies his time. Because if he has to fight legal cases,
I think he won't deal with any congressional cases. I think it's going to be all the financial crimes in New York.
Because also, I agree. Also, imagine 4 years of Trump badgering and then like Trump Jr. 2024 or what Ivanka 2024. Yeah. Like, imagine that's a scenario that
like you think like the Preet Bharas and the Southern District is going to sit by.
Well, he's not in it now.
I'm just saying, but
those guys are going to claw their way.
No, they will.
Yes,
I think the Southern District in New York, where all the financial crimes are committed, they're going after him.
100%.
I don't think there's going to be this like, let's jail him for the Russia like
no.
I don't think it's that either. I just think there's so many skeletons in this closet. Like, you could pick a color, there's a skeleton, and they're just gonna they're gonna find what it is, whatever it is. And I don't think it's the Russia stuff either. I think in the last 30 years, this guy's done so much shit that you could find something. Think about how did John Gotti and how do these people actually on the racketeering charges they all went down on? What was the nonsense? It was like mail fraud. You know, it's like you don't think Donald Trump's committed mail fraud?
You know what I like? The prediction from the All In podcast was that he loses, resigns, Pence becomes president, pardons him on everything.
Yeah. That's a great move. That would be the all-time move.
You mean wins, resigns?
No, loses. There's lame
still in office until
January 20th.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good plan. I just, that to me, there's so many unknowns. What does Fox News do? What does the entire Republican Party do? What does Donald Trump do? Because the thought that you're just going to vote him out and then there's no more Donald Trump is insane.
Because I got to imagine, not your like fringe Fox News listener, because they're just going to, the fringe in the terms of the way they think, like they're just crazy. But the average person that's watching Fox News, if your guy loses and you keep consuming news that has no, right now, Fox News is very relevant to everyone's life because Donald Trump's the president. He's enacting policy. Yeah. He's enacting, like, he's appointing judges. Yep. Fox News is important. What I think they lose viewership when they no longer are the voice. Right now, Fox News is the voice of the United States government. Yeah.
What scares me, there's a lot of people who love money, love fame, love attention that have gotten a lot of it for the last 4 years that might stop in January, and I don't think they're going to take that silently.
Yeah.
It's going to come with
That's
a lot of
why I don't think Fox News just goes away.
No, I don't think. I'm just curious if they pivot. You have Rupert Murdoch telling his friends, like, this guy's an idiot. He's going to get crushed.
Yeah.
If Fox News is right, they pick who the next president is and they get behind some young, talented, more interesting figure that could be the face of the Republican Party.
What do you do for your ratings for the next 4 years? Rupert.
No, I think it's the same thing. Like Pod Save America thrived under the Donald Trump. If Hillary Clinton had won, we would not have Pod Save America being this influential.
Well, Pod Save America with like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Sandman.
Yeah,
Kyle Rittenhouse, Sandman, live, primetime Fox News.
Yeah. Hosted by Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing on politics and then we will move on. 50 Cent.
Yep.
I told you there's a triple threat with Trump.
Yeah.
Law and order, COVID, taxes.
Yeah.
50 Cent has said, I would rather vote for Trump than get those Biden taxes.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's getting ripped to shreds. I mean, no shit. But, you know, he likes to stir the pot.
Yep.
What do you think? Does anyone care?
There's a very big, there was a clip from CNBC and said top tax rates by state under Biden tax plan. And California was at 62.6% and New York City was 62%. And that's what he was commenting on. What the interesting about this tax plan, problem is this is what Biden is proposing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when it would be instituted. We don't know if it would be instituted, but this is what his tax plan is.
Mm-hmm.
He also said that it is for people that earn over $400,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe how many people that do not make $400,000 a year,
99% of the country.
which is more than 99% of the country,
Give a shit.
are now fighting
Yeah.
for a tax rate that has no impact on them. And they're saying, this is why we'll never be rich. I'm like, whoa. You're not rich because you suck at what you do. It's not because you don't, because you're paying too much taxes. Yeah. And this is for the people that earn over $400,000 a year. Your tax could be, impacted. And by the way, people don't understand marginal tax rate. People don't understand tax deductions. People don't understand all the complexities of a tax code where like a wealthy person who makes that kind of money is not like, oh, I made 420. Here's 62% of my money. That's not what happens when you meet with your accountant at the end of the year. Just as someone that knows that process very intimately, it doesn't work like that. So I think for people that, I understand people are upset at higher taxes. Cool. He said it a million fucking times. It's for people that make over $400,000. The amount of comments of people, let me tell you.
Everybody's rich.
Then why are we complaining about anything if everyone's making over $400,000?
Or maybe these are just aspirational tax earners.
Yeah, they're like one day.
Yeah.
In the next 4 years, I plan to make over 400.
Well, you know what they do is they look at
That's
their
like all
ARR.
TikTok,
They look at their ARR on TikTok on Robinhood Gains.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Say,
I'm
if
400.
Data Dog keeps going up,
Yeah.
Pete's like, I can't handle this net effective tax rate. It's just
ARR over the next 4 years, you could hit 400,000.
Yeah. But it's
But
just,
what about 50 Cent? Do we care? He's just.
50 Cent's an idiot. I mean, he filed
just
for
contrarian.
He filed for bankruptcy
I also think he just
2
likes
years,
to
a few
say
years
shit.
ago. He just
I was gonna ask,
wanted.
does he have money?
I mean, he
That was a
definitely
fake
does.
bankruptcy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is he's a prime example of someone that took advantage of the financial system in this country.
Right.
He filed bankruptcy because he doesn't want to pay his baby
He's
mama.
a little Trumpy himself.
Yeah,
You know?
he fits that thing. But it's amazing how many poor people are fighting for my tax rate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They
Why
got
are you
your back.
concerned about people that clearly can?
It's just something to
Figure
stand
out the
on.
civil-
They hear like, what are we mad about? Tax rate? You said tax rate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tax rate.
Like I saw someone do like a TikTok type video. Goes, if you make $100,000 in New York City, you will only get $38,000 to your pocket. How are you a moron? You're paying 62% tax on $100,000 income.
You're a moron.
Yes,
That's why you don't make the $100,000. You don't have to worry about it.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Just absolute insanity. What's going on with like people's lack of understanding?
It's so stupid. This is what I talked about, that one fiscal policy guy a couple of podcasts ago, why blue wave is good for the stock market.
Yeah.
And his point was the economy's still going to be bad
Yeah.
next 2 years. Biden's not going to raise taxes, not going to raise the corporate tax rate in the next 2 years if the economy still sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's also my only point is, the tax thing sucks. I'm not a fan of it either. That being said, if you're only going by the money, you lost, if in 99.9% of places, you lost significantly more money by the COVID response, division, riots and looting, all the shit that's going on. What, so you could save a few percentage points in taxes? You lost it.
Yeah.
And now we're set up to potentially be in disaster.
And honestly, the people that it impacts the tax the most is like your working professional that probably, if they don't own any real estate, they don't have any other side businesses, they don't have anything, that just makes like $500,000 a year working a corporate job. That person gets
screwed.
slammed.
Which is such a small percentage.
You know what's funny
Yes.
is
You know?
Because the entrepreneur who has 5 entities and has different ways to kind of structure
I
the
heard
business.
Chamath talking about the 13% if the state tax in California, whether he wants to move, he's like, if it increases to 13, are you going to move from California? He goes, why? I have all offshore entities. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
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 I love that.
But that's what people don't understand is like, I appreciate people fighting for the rich, but like, it's figured out.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it.
We're good.
Yeah, exactly. We good. Like, don't worry about how much tax rate everyone's paying, because we see. Look at our president. Our president's not paying. He's paid no taxes.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney don't pay no tax.
Exactly. And like, what? It's really sucks for the guy that makes $500,000 a year working at
Law firm.
A law firm.
That lives by the book.
Yes.
And he has a W-2 that every year there's
Yes.
no hiding it.
And then maybe he owns no real estate, so he gets no mortgage
No
deduction,
private investments.
no private investments, no tax
No
Let me
losses.
say one
losses.
thing. That guy's not in the comments.
Yeah.
That's not who you're hearing from.
And that,
No, that guy's just voting for Trump.
That guy's silently voting for Trump.
but how many lawyers are making $500,000 a year that don't have any other way to offset any gains?
Right.
I honestly think the tax plan was to keep the Bernie bros at bay during the campaign.
And then when it actually comes
It's
to
over.
Obama was so friendly to the rich. People forget.
Yeah, Obama campaigned as a progressive that was going to take the carried interest rate and tax it ordinary income tax rate, which goes from 20% to 50%. That didn't happen.
No long-term capital gain change.
No.
Yeah, I think Joe likes rich people.
Joe's a centrist.
Come on. You're going to make...
But if
Hunter,
AOC was
you're gonna-
president, I'd be very concerned.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
Then
she
we're
wouldn't
done.
get the support. She just wouldn't.
Okay, we got to move on. We're in media, right?
Yeah.
We film hours a week. We record hours a week. A lot of room for slip-ups.
Yes.
Mistakes. Sometimes you got what you call a hot mic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you take your pants off because you don't know you were recording.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about all of those things
Yes.
right after this quick ad.
All right, guys, welcome back to the ad portion of the podcast. I'm your boy Pete here. If you're new, I'm the one who reads the ads. If you've been here before, you know exactly what's going on. But lucky enough for you, I have a wonderful sponsor to bring you for today's episode of Group Chat, and that is Manscaped. That's right, the fan favorite Manscaped. You've heard them on here before, but they're back again. Listen up, fellas, because today we have a new Manscaped product alert. That's right, Manscaped just released the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Take a look at the mirror, and I guarantee you'll see hairs sticking out of those holes. It's time to keep your ear and nose hair looking as nice as your clean-shaven pubes. That's right. I have been turned down by a woman before because of the length of my nose hair. So this product hits so home with me, I can't even begin to tell you. There's nothing worse than getting turned down by a woman because of those straggly little nose hairs you have coming out. Luckily, this product is going to solve those issues for you. For those of you watching, look how clean and sleek this product is. It's an amazing product. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Weed Whacker. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to get nipped, snagged, or tugged. It hurts, and I hate it. The premium Manscaped Weed Whacker uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. A whole lot of mumbo-jumbo for saying this is one badass nose and ear hair trimmer. Its intelligently contoured design enhances the trimming experience and is waterproof, which makes it easy for operation. Cleaning, my favorite part, pop right into the shower. Go ahead and do what you need to do because of its waterproof technology. You can get it all done in one single run. Favorite part, that's absolutely the favorite part of mine about these Manscaped products. Only nose hair trimmer on the market with a powerful and rechargeable lithium battery that lasts up to 90 minutes. Have you ever pulled your nose hair out with fingers? That might hurt worse than nicking your balls. That's right, men, you know what I'm talking about. You know the pain I am speaking on. Manscaped is making whacking your weeds a time to look forward to, delivering maximum confidence while providing hygiene. Yes, you will even get replaceable blades every 3 months to keep your weed whacking time clean and enjoyable. Look, fellas, 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff. I've experienced it, and I don't want you to experience it. So take this opportunity and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PATM at manscaped.com. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our pubes trimmed and the hairs in our holes looking nice. Now, again, 20% off plus free shipping with the code PATM at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code PATM. What are you waiting for? Get to whacking your weeds. The Weed Whacker, my new favorite nose and ear hair trimmer. All right, thank you, Manscaped, and thank you, everybody, for listening to us. Let's get you back into the episode.
You want to know who should be a spokesperson for Manscaped?
Yes.
Jeff Toobin.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, you want to talk about the poster child. If I worked at Manscaped, I would be beating down this guy's door, no
Literally
pun intended, to try to get a campaign. So I want to start with that one because we got two issues here with people slipping up on camera or microphones. New Yorker journalist.
And I mean, I think he's the chief legal correspondent at CNN.
More importantly, CNN chief legal correspondent. Jeffrey Toobin was in a Zoom meeting with his coworkers.
Yeah.
We've all been in a lot of Zoom meetings, a lot of Google chats, a lot of different things.
Me and you have said we hate video.
Hate video. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
But let me just say, I'm so over it to the point where I will mute. I will sort of trick and look down at my phone while I pretend that I'm looking at the camera.
Oh, I just put the phone line at eye level.
Even smarter.
Yeah.
What I don't do is pull my dick out and jerk off.
Really?
No, I haven't gotten there.
You don't do that?
No,
That's interesting.
It's been about
Everyone I know does that now.
Well, Jeffrey Toobin is the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Because this guy was on a Zoom chat for work. Thought that he was muted and off camera, apparently, but still knew while the meeting was happening, he decided to get a quick jerk off session in.
Yeah.
Little did he know, camera was in perfect shot. He did it on camera.
So I want to unpack this a little.
Well, be careful.
Okay.
Not on camera.
So
Tim liked that one.
people are clearly up in arms about him jerking off, which I understand, rightfully so. I want to understand really leading up to that moment.
Yep.
So
Like
you're on a
what?
call.
Yeah.
You're not interested.
Was there a young lady on the call?
That's one question. What were you looking at? Like, what were you jerking off to?
Yeah, like what got you sparked?
Yeah,
Like, was
because
there a
it's not-
young reporter who was talking about legal analysis and you're like, ugh,
Yeah,
let me just take care of this real quick.
she really gets my briefs going.
Oh, just let me open up the old briefcase and
Yeah,
like, yeah, I agree.
because I'm curious to.
Are you really curious?
I am actually curious.
I'm curious. Too.
Why are you curious?
Because it's just.
Jerking off in the middle of the day.
No,
What's the big deal?
I have no problem. Find people
I
jerk
just
off.
wear gym shorts.
Find people jerk off during the day, but
But what's getting this old guy going in the middle of a Zoom call?
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. He's a dumbass, but like,
no, but it's not just that. This is where
No.
no, we're not. I'm not giving him a pass
no,
because
of course he's an idiot.
no, I'm not even. I don't even, to be fair, I'm not judging the jerking off part. I'm trying to understand.
I'm in a lot of
why.
private chats that are Team Toobin.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, who cares?
But why?
But why?
Here's the question. You
Why
might be
did you-
bored. You might be tired. Why are you turned on in the Zoom call?
I just don't understand why you want to. I mean, I just don't understand how you come to the conclusion that on an 11 a.m. call, it's time to jerk off.
Yeah.
That's that Zoom arrogance.
Zoom arrogance to the fullest. You're not like sneaking a protein bar. You're full on. So let's just say this went to plan. Because we had a lot of conversations about people having multiple jobs, people not really working during this time. Apparently you can, during a meeting, full on sneak in a jerk off. Well, no one knew because this wasn't his first time.
Yeah.
You can count on that.
Yeah.
He has jerked off many times during meetings and never got caught.
Yeah.
So how many people are jerking off during meetings nowadays?
Probably 50%. 50% of men are jerking off during Zoom meetings. Honestly, you shouldn't even have a phone call with any man if the video camera's not on.
Or if you can't see waist down.
Yeah, you gotta
know
like,
what-
I gotta see your pants.
Or do you care?
What?
Why do you care?
I do care. I don't want to be talking to people while they're jerking off.
Imagine making eye contact with Jeffrey Toobin while he's jerking
Yeah, imagine that guy. You have to. I mean, that's insane.
So according to your stats, you should cancel half your phone calls.
Yes.
I mean, we did a series of some Zoom meetings as a whole last week for group chat. You're saying 3 of the people on each of those calls were jerking off.
I mean, I could point to one for sure.
Go ahead, point.
Oh man, I'm blown away by. This is the other thing.
But is it
You're working
arrogance
from
or it's
home.
just is Jeffrey Toobin
Are you that busy?
pre-Zoom in his office at CNN
Yeah,
jerking off?
for sure.
Okay, got it.
For sure.
That makes sense then.
It just probably feels like work to him. He's like, oh, we're in the office.
Gotta
Hold
rub
on.
one out.
Hold on one second.
Did they say in the Wolf of Wall Street? What's his name?
Was it Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, but it was the Wolf of Wall Street. They also like threw little people at
Bill
It's okay,
Clinton
but he
was
said for clarity, you got to
doing
jack off.
similar stuff to an intern in the Oval Office. This guy's on a Zoom meeting and we care?
But at least he did it. You have the whole day.
I just don't
You
understand.
think Bill
for 1
Clinton waited
hour.
for the sun to go down?
No, I'm saying if Bill, to me, this is what it's like. If Bill was behind the desk in the Oval Office having a meeting about foreign policy and Monica was under the desk.
Yes.
Because he couldn't wait.
That's not what's
I
happening.
don't put that past Bill.
He might have done it. But that's what blows me away. No pun intended again.
Yeah.
Is he literally, you're working from home. You can sneak into the bathroom. You have a whole day probably of privacy.
So he's married with kids. Like, what does his wife think?
Oh my, can you imagine?
So, okay, is this worse than what Jeff Bezos had to deal with his family?
No.
With the dick pics?
Yeah.
Is this worse?
With the mistress.
I think this is worse.
No.
My
he's
only
just
question-
And
jacking
he had to
off.
answer to his wife, his kids.
My only question is this. If
he
Mackenzie knew that Jeff was seeing, what's her name?
Lauren.
Then it's not as bad, in my opinion. If he was cheating, then it's worse, I think.
But their
Meaning
kids
if
had
that's
to
how she
know.
found out.
If that's how she found out, that to me is way worse.
I'll tell you
but
why.
If you're sending news, I don't know. To me, if you're like my husband, we separated and he sent news to his young lover. Silly, but like that's what people do.
But there were leaked text messages that the whole world read.
I know. But
We're not seeing this video.
I agree. We didn't see his dick.
I know.
But I'm
not
saying
yet.
if you know
the
old
video's
Jeff,
coming out, and guess what? Everyone's watching it.
If you know old
Sounds
Jeff
like
is
you are.
upstairs.
Oh, D's gonna have it fucking played on his big screen. Haley's gonna come in and be like, "Hey, what the fuck is it?"
It's going to be the biggest video in the world that this video got out.
What do you
I'm
think,
watching.
Haley's?
Who's watching? Be honest.
Be honest.
The video is right here, and Pete says I can hit play right now. Who leaves the room?
All right,
Nobody.
so
That's
let
what
me
I
posit
thought.
a question then. What if the same thing happens, but it's not video, it's only audio? Is
Well,
it the
you
same?
can't prove that.
Just
can't
heavy
prove.
breathing.
Yeah, let's say it's not provable, but that there's audio.
I mean, sometimes when I'm eating a salad, I breathe heavy. I mean,
Yeah. Totally
You
fine.
sound sexier.
Totally fine.
like I eat
Video.
something really spicy.
Imagine being
you
his
might
wife.
You might think I'm jerking off. I'm just eating like a hot sauce.
But isn't it funny how in the era where we talk about OnlyFans, I know it's different contexts. Of
He should start
whatever.
OnlyFans.
My
Yeah.
point is, everyone's up in arms over this, but everyone's like, OnlyFans the future. Everyone should be fucking on camera.
But not Jeffrey Toobin.
No,
There's a lot of people that should be having sex on camera, not Jeffrey Toobin.
Here's the thing. We've, as society, accepted that people cheat. You don't have to like it, but it happens. And there's constantly people getting caught cheating. I have not seen any videos of men in meetings jerking off yet.
So it's not accepted yet.
It's not accepted.
It's not acceptable.
If we're in this pandemic in 6 months, you just say, hey, I'm going on mute, guys.
Imagine the digital Me Too revolution.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, I was in a Zoom call.
Yeah.
I heard a strange noise.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Charlie started.
And that's hearsay
Camping.
because they're not recorded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
You can record
a lot of them
Chinese.
are recorded.
the Chinese have it.
She's the
Engineers.
arbiter of Me Too.
He's got it. I have a feeling that if you work at Fox or in the Republican campaign, you're trying everything you can to get your hands on this video.
Yeah, Fox News has called repeatedly. I went to Fox News to read there. So they went and said, we've reached out to comment from CNN.
Yeah.
They have not commented back on the story. And then I think they
I'm
said,
shocked Trump hasn't brought this up yet.
They jerked us around, is what they said.
it'll be by tonight.
Because at the rally yesterday, I forget what state he was in. He's like, you turn on CNN, it's COVID this, it's COVID that. No one cares about COVID, CNN, you dumb bastard.
He said that?
Yeah,
He's got to say it. He's got to bring it up.
yeah,
will
he'll bring it up. He just,
Okay.
you know, he's
You
not getting.
dumb bastard. I mean, no one cares about COVID, you dumb bastard.
So
It's
how do
like-
the evangelicals justify that language?
He stands up for your right to be a Christian.
Yeah.
You dumb bastard.
You dumb bastard. I don't know. Okay, and then the next one is Troy Aikman and Joe Buck caught on a hot mic during a football game while they were making fun of, at all these big sporting events, they do the flyovers.
Yeah.
The Army jets or, the whatever.
This
Air
is at the
Force.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers game.
Yep, so they did one of these flyovers, and these guys, not knowing they're recording, once again, hot mic, making fun of how expensive these things are.
They're like, there's your tax.
Hard tax dollars.
Yeah, your hard-earned tax dollars at work. And then I think it was Troy Aikman goes, once Kamala and Biden get on this, they're going to end all this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Aikman's definitely a Trumpster.
No, I think he was saying, I didn't sound
really?
like that at all. It didn't sound like.
I don't know, him, Al Michaels. I think they all run. Jim Nance.
I think they both were in agreement. It's a waste of money.
I agree with that. And you're talking about
Nobody's in the stadium too.
no one's in the stadium.
Yeah. That might have needed to be said. That
Joe-
might be
yeah.
a hot mic that was worth it.
Joe Buck, he commentates some of the most important games the last 25 years.
Yeah.
So he's seen this over and over again. He's like, this is stupid.
But
Yeah.
if we keep in mind what it is, it might not be stupid. It's marketing for the armed forces. What if the return is worth it? That's all it is.
You were saying
Fair.
that someone in the stands is sitting there and goes, I'm sitting in my $1,500 seats. I would love to go join the army.
Well, yeah, I think that talking about it, I think, look, I
No,
don't-
they always talk about it on the national broadcast.
Yeah, I think if you took a year of sports and you took the Army, military, whatever, Navy presence, budgeted it out, quantified it, is it actually a waste of money? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's
It's a good point.
Yeah,
It's a really good point.
That is, yeah, I agree. That is a good point. And I think the problem I have with it is you're effectively, the marketing tactic for you is that is it reinforcing why the military is important or reinforcing why you should join the military or the Navy?
I think it's just glorifying it.
Yeah, it's just you make it look amazing and then that's people want to join it.
Yeah, it's
You
part
just
of your
use-
acquisition costs.
Yeah, customer acquisition cost.
Yeah, think about it. You're the military guy. You have 100,000
lot of CAC
people.
in the military.
Careful.
You have 100,000 people screaming
After Jeffrey
at the
Toobin.
fighter jets.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like I want
I want to
that.
be in that jet.
Because you're not going to be
USA.
on the field.
Yeah.
You're not talented enough to be on the field.
No,
can
you
be in
got
the
two
jet.
places to be. You
Yeah.
want to be in the jet or on the field.
Yeah.
Can't make it on the field, maybe you can get in the jet. If not, you're working in the concession stand. All right. Let's end with a round of, we'll call it hot water. The hot water segment. Number one, the Justice Department has filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google.
Yes.
So the crackdown's coming. What's
So-
going on here?
Yeah, they're pretty much coming after them over their search business. Google controls 80% of search. I don't know who's in charge of the case at the Justice Department. I don't know their background. It sounds like from the timing of the case, it's really whoever the next administration is and who they appoint will probably take the case out. But I think Google, Amazon, Facebook are all going to get Justice Department, antitrust. They're all going to coming after them, and they're going to figure out how to disrupt these businesses in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's around privacy, whether it's dominating an industry. I think the problem with Google, the thing that I read about it was, Google it's not like it's bad for consumers because it doesn't make money off consumers. It makes money off other businesses. It's maybe could be considered anti-competitive towards other people in the search industry because you can't have any scale on search unless you have billions of search queries. So I think it's going to be tough to pin them on anything here, but I just think I'm actually happy to see that they're at least trying to get in these businesses because you may subpoena a bunch of information and discover something else that is actually the smoking gun to because when you think about Facebook and you think about Amazon, there's clearly some issues that need to be addressed at some point. That's hurting society.
Yeah, it's just going to take forever.
Yeah, I think it's like 5-10 years of.
And the stock was up post the announcement of the investigation.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Peloton stock. They had to reclaim 27,000 bikes for that causing injury and parts and shit. Stock went
Stocks
up.
up.
Those are your boys.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like all you got to do is just have your name in the news. And
stock goes up.
yeah, it's like accused of stealing, fraud, blah, blah, blah. So I should put my Robin Hood on it? Okay, well, we'll see. It's just interesting to me because this is kind of the first of action being taken against, big
I'm shocked it's Google.
It also surprises me how seeing some of the highlights of
Because they are the true monopoly.
Yeah.
Like Amazon's not a monopoly.
No,
If you think about the percentage they have on retail sales, if you think it's
nothing.
It's like sub 5%.
Yeah.
I would argue Apple over Google.
Because of
Especially
the
for
App
the App
Store?
Store.
the App Store, yeah, you can make your
The
argument.
thing with Google is that, Bing exists, right? So if you're talking just about the search business, which is the only aspect of Google that really makes money,
Yeah.
there's a conscious choice almost every day from every customer that has an iPhone can choose to, go into Safari, go into
Pick your default.
Correct. And so I think there's enough, if you define antitrust in this country, right? There's enough competition out there. It's the challenge of enforcing the idea that it's a consumer's choice of using Google because it is, let's say, a better experience because you're comfortable with it. You understand the platform. It's a great user experience. And so I think that's where they're going to find a lot of trouble. To your point, maybe this is the bigger picture that after subpoena the search algorithm, you can start to find that there's more of a smoking gun, let's say, in the echo chambers that we're seeing in Facebook and Instagram, that Google searches are more curated towards affecting consumer behavior. And maybe that's something interesting.
Yeah.
But I find it very hard to say
you can.
Google's the only search option.
Yeah, and that's where I think I have a problem with it. And because I don't think the consumer is suffering because Google dominated the industry.
I agree.
The consumer's probably benefiting because we get to see all the options.
No, I think the problem is they put their own products ahead of the businesses that pay. So if you search for a flight, Google Flights is the first thing that comes on.
Sure.
Google Places comes before Yelp. That's the problem.
Google Shoes.
Yeah, you should launch New Republic under Google. It'll be the first search.
Google Shopping does great for us.
Yeah, it is. Google's great.
Yeah, that is the argument.
Yeah.
It's similar to how we complain about Amazon. Like if you launch a product on Amazon, they're just going to knock it off and do it better themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
Yelp
probably
got a
right.
lot of heat for that a few years ago because they were basically suppressing. So there'd be a Yelp account manager contacting you and saying, hey, like this is how you sign up for Yelp ads so that when you type in, if you're a Thai restaurant, let's say in downtown Los Angeles, you put in all of this and then anytime somebody searches for that on Yelp, you'll come up as a sponsored listing. And then people started to complain that they said, no thanks, I'm fine without no advertising. And then, oh wait, my Yelp listing disappeared from the top of the search results.
And step further, I would argue that this is the same as if Yelp started opening restaurants.
Right.
And then all the top rated Thai restaurant, Yelpies.
Yelp Thai.
Yelp Thai.
Yeah.
Yelp barbecue. Okay.
I hate Yelp.
Yeah, I hate Yelp's the worst. Okay. Last but not least, hot water. Goldman Sachs ordered to pay $2.8 billion for their part in the 1MDB scandal. Ann and I are big fans of this whole story. It's the story of Joe Low, the book $1 Billion Whale. Josh, did you read that?
I haven't stolen it from
Steal that
Anna yet.
next. Steal that next. So the book $1 Billion Whale, incredible, about this guy Joe Low and the Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund. Goldman Sachs had a heavy hand in that. And they got their little $2.8 billion fine.
Yeah.
So this is going to change the game for sure, right? They're not.
Yeah,
never make this
no one's
mistake
going to
again.
commit financial crimes again because they really came down hard on stealing the government of Malaysia's money
And UAE, Kuwait.
Yeah.
Never
So they
again,
defrauded 3 different countries' sovereign wealth funds.
Got it. So 2.8 billion,
Plus
lesson learned.
2.2, 5 billion. They gave him 5.
They're making a movie.
And whatever Jolo torched to the ground,
Yeah.
which is
So
billions.
Goldman facilitated all of this.
Yeah.
And they only got charged 5 billion.
No one went to jail.
No.
So
Okay, seems
Wolf
fair.
of Wall Street lionized Belford, right?
Yeah.
So everybody thinks he's the hero, the man.
Yeah.
Does this movie coming out make him the hero?
Who,
Cholo?
Cholo?
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, the
To a
glorify
lot of
him.
people, yeah. Yeah, I think to a lot
glorify
of
him.
people. I
Yeah,
think a
because
lot
he
of
was
people
making
like-
out with Paris Hilton.
Right.
And
I mean, we've been at venues where Jolo was there. He was the hero.
yeah, he was a hero for me. I got a bottle of Cristal
But keep in
once
mind,
for
like
free.
we've also we've
awesome.
also made like a lot of people like Tony Montana from Scarface is a hero. Bonnie and Clyde, huge hero. You know, like we do that. We like these renegades, steal money and make out with Paris
And
Hilton.
he's still flying celebrities into Asia.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think as of 2018. That's after the book.
I heard he partnered with Triller. And then- okay, so it's another one of those.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. You paid your fine. It's great to be. If you're going to commit a crime, commit a humongous financial crime.
Yes, absolutely.
And
That's a
like,
fact.
if you don't, there's no point in 50 grand, 100 grand, 5 billion.
I love the quote, if you owe the bank $1 million, that's your problem.
Yeah.
If you owe the bank $1 billion, that's their problem.
Yes, I love that.
Yep.
That's why if you're going to go big.
Okay, let's go big with some scene on social.
Yeah.
We, we're a little over. I think Ripke will still be proud.
Yeah.
This is part of the process.
Yep.
What did you guys see on social media in the last week that everyone needs to be aware of?
I saw Ice Cube has now kind of came out and given his perspective, and I feel like people have calmed down over.
He was on CNN.
Yeah.
They had him.
Yeah, and I think he's given a little more clarity on it. But I just think, as a celebrity in this climate.
Oh, I thought you were saying you.
Me?
Like, as a celebrity, I feel like.
Yeah, in this climate, I feel comfortable saying whatever because I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube's got a chance to kind of clear the air and what he meant. And I think people have forgiven him. At least some people have.
Yep.
But I just think, I'm watching a lot of celebrity in general on Twitter and Instagram talking about the elections and talking about their point of views. I think you gotta be very careful if you're not ready for the fight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do your research. Anand.
Snapchat crushed earnings.
Wow.
Up 20%. Stock is after hours. Revenue's up 52% year over year. I've said on this podcast in the last month, this company you got to be watching is Snap.
Are you snapping?
Am I on Snapchat?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Send a couple messages. Get your streak
I need
going.
to get back into it.
Yeah. I remember Snapchat. Yeah, that was the thing. I just want to say this week, Anand went bullish Snapchat and also could see a possible end for Facebook. Big week.
Yeah. Self-realization.
It's big. Josh?
So I actually saw something on the group chat Instagram this week that I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The that Trump rally,
Yeah.
is that real?
The dance moves?
The
Beverly Hills?
no, the casting call.
Yes.
I didn't see that anywhere, so I'm very curious to hear the story here.
They are effectively recruiting black people to be
just
at their
show up.
rallies. Yes. They've been
paying
doing this
them.
since the last
I was
campaign.
gonna say, I
too.
thought that was always known.
They're paying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$250. So if you're black and
For
want
the
to
day?
what?
Day rate?
Day rate.
Can I be blackface?
Actually, in that crowd, probably. Might be 150, but
Hey,
they'll have you.
they're willing to pay though. Anything for the look.
Like, look at all of our supporters.
It's
like
all these white guys in
bunch of
black
Keats and black. Oh my god! Holy cow! Okay,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I set that up.
yeah. Hey, you've stumbled into a few of those this episode.
Poor
Sorry,
guy.
Josh's wife. He's a good person. Everyone knows it. This is just what we do here. Mine is Fontrell Antonio Baines, also known as Nuke Bizzle. Apparently, we've talked a lot about scams, fraud. Anand put us on to the EDD scams. Apparently, Nuke Bizzle illegally obtained $1.2 million in jobless benefits intended for coronavirus, victims, job loss. And then he rapped about it
Yeah.
in a music video. And he got arrested.
Yeah. So crazy.
Listen, we know scams are up. I'm not saying anyone should scam. Not condoning any of the scamming. I'm just saying if you were to be scamming, maybe don't rap about it.
Yeah. Be very careful.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Lay low.
Mm-hmm.
Don't learn from Goldman Sachs. They might be able to rap about it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Crazy.
Didn't they also settle the Chainsmokers event?
Yeah, 20K.
20K, that's it.
They got fined?
Yeah.
Yeah, the promoter.
Oh, worth it.
Did
What about
Diesel
D-
make
D-
20K that day?
Diesel probably
Probably more.
paid the fine. He should pay the fine.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if I was one of those guys, I'd just go. You know how Forever 21 just ties lawsuits into their business plan?
Yeah.
Just tie in your fines.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. That's it. We got a couple shout outs, yeah?
Yeah.
Who do we got?
I got a guy that DM me because I told people just DM me. There's no point.
Because, our old
Skip the
process,
queue at all.
our old process was
Yeah. So Jared Schlager,
Schlager.
long-time group chat listener, 29th birthday. He lives in Brickell, Miami. Huge fan of Brickell.
Huge.
Huge fan. Had a lot of fun nights in Brickell. He met us in 2017, Art Basel at 11.
In Brickell.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Praying for
about it.
Exits was there?
Yeah, maybe it's praying for excellence.
Yeah, and maybe it's the
Think
same
about
guy.
all the people that we have met or come in contact with at 11.
I think like half of our listeners have been to 11.
11 might be where we've made more connections in under one single roof. Probably Delilah than 11.
Yeah. And then he also has an exotic dog treat company called Mosaic Pet Food.
Interesting.
Exotic dog treats. I wonder what that is. Lizards?
What are you feeding?
Yeah. Curious
Is
to
it
check it out.
exotic dog treats or exotic dog treats?
Oh.
Good
So
question.
like the treat is exotic dogs.
You're gonna get
Or they're
canceled.
treats only
What I
for
meant is, are
exotic
they
dogs.
treats for exotic dogs,
Or
or
maybe-
are they
maybe really
exotic
some
treats
really-
for dogs?
Maybe some really rich groups like to eat exotic dogs.
Yes.
This is interesting. We got a lot to get into here.
You know, Brickell's a free-flowing place. You never know what's
Something like
going
that.
on over there.
I agree. Is that it?
That's
That all
it.
we got for shout outs?
Yeah.
We know Pete doesn't
no,
have
we,
any.
We got some. We got some.
Oh, Tim's got some. Okay, fire him up, Tim.
All right. So, Kevin Wilson says, been a Kathy since day one, real OG. I'm just doing this to see if Pete will really shout me out or not.
He didn't, but Tim did.
He did it.
Love what you guys are doing. Keep it coming.
Shout out Kevin Wilson.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Kevin, man. OG. You can count on Tim.
Yeah, you can count on me unless somebody didn't get their shout out. Blame Pete because he just sent me these.
Good call.
I actually have a shout out
What you got?
when you're done.
No, go for it.
So a friend of mine came and visited. He actually lives in Miami. Drove across the country, did one of those COVID trips, right, in an RV with his wife.
Oh my God.
Did Utah and Colorado and Arizona. And we had dinner with him and his wife the other night, and he said that group chat got them through
He got,
The
through,
trip.
he got through one episode.
I did 2
one
episodes across the
episode.
country.
So my friend Will, but yeah, they
That's amazing.
Will and Stephanie from Miami listened to probably 6 episodes over the 3 months.
All right. Shout out to Will and Stephanie.
That's amazing.
But I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good
cool.
one.
That's really cool.
And then we have Gian Pantaleon.
Okay.
Nice. Good pronunciation.
Yeah, I have to because these.
Yeah, I don't
Give me
know
a hard
why you
time.
made like some weird accent.
Leon.
Yeah.
Pantaleon.
Sup, Ponce de Leon?
Gian Pantaleon. I'd like to
Okay,
give a
just-
shout out to my brother Jerome Pantaleon and his girlfriend Vicky for moving to Arizona. Congratulations on both of their new career paths. Jerome and I are longtime listeners before Group Chat was born and Short Story Long was cracking. We were also on GIC before it was GRC.
Nice.
We also participate in these running half marathon challenges. We can't thank you guys enough.
That's
Really
amazing.
do. Keep it up.
Nice.
Pantaleon.
Pantaleon.
And one last one from Lauren, no last name. Lauren's from Australia.
Very
It
mysterious.
says, happy birthday to Carlos, 36, and Kane, 37. Also, hi to my wonderful husband of 11 years, Craigie.
Craigie.
All long time group chat listeners. Keep up the good content, boys.
That's amazing.
All the way in Australia.
Yeah.
Down under.
Aussies.
Craigie.
Yeah.
Okay. And then D.
I got 2 things.
Yep.
Newsletter. Big newsletter Thursday.
Big, big, big. Why do I see, we're talking about sex?
We are doing an entire newsletter, and what is going on with the sex or a lack of sex amongst young people?
Is this about Tim and Pete?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are intrigued about what's going on
Really?
with Tim's sex life. Yes.
This could be good, Tim.
I think it all stems from his stupid profile picture with the IPA. I think that's a huge
It's
turn
in
on.
his bio.
Yes. So, I mean,
Maybe we need like someone to come on, like a relation, like a
Consultant.
yeah.
he needs a makeover.
Yeah, let's get a digital makeover in COVID age. How do you look as
Presentable.
desirable as possible in
Yeah.
the age of COVID?
Yeah.
You down for
should
that?
put
some
entertainer.
photos of me laying down with like a rose in my mouth.
Well, no, that would be
No.
actually the absolute wrong thing to do. Don't
That-
you play guitar?
That's what I would look for in a sexual predator.
Oh, okay.
You're telling me you and
I'm
that
taking
mustache too. You play guitar and you chose to talk about IPA in your freaking bio?
There's a
Aren't
picture of me
these
playing
dating
guitar.
videos, dating sites, you can have a video too?
Yeah, I think so.
Why don't you do one of you playing guitar and singing looking like John fucking Mayer? Not like some
Because it's
Instead he's
Los
going,
Angeles.
barstool drunk.
It's Los Angeles. I'm sure every guy has
No,
that.
not every guy can actually sing and play guitar.
Yeah, you have a song on you have an album on
Yes.
streaming platforms.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
more
like-
successful than 99.999% of people that live in LA already.
Instead,
like,
you chose the most common white guy thing to do, which is an IPA.
IPA. And you wonder why you're not getting laid. Okay, well, we should get into that. I think that could be some good content for the show, but let's start with the newsletter.
Thursday.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Especially if you're young, you're looking to make a move in your dating life.
MelroseStreetJournal.com.
Check it out. I'm excited to see this thing because it's coming from a young person's perspective that understands what's going on. Because I got so many DMs after Tim's,
I'll be honest, I'm really curious. Like, even the young, like, cool kids, are they all just meeting up and having sex with each other? And, like, obviously no one's testing or anything?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a young, like, the house that lives close to Anand,
Yeah.
girls just coming and going out of that
Yeah,
house?
they're partying.
So, no, they don't care.
Yeah.
So when you say young, cool kids, you
Not
mean
referring
just
to you.
Besides
No.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking
No.
about the TikTokers, the club promoters, the ones who are usually just getting laid on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
You're rubbing it in.
Yeah. People that know how to pronounce ethnically difficult last names.
Yes.
Like Pantaleon?
Yeah. I can't wait to find out it's completely something different.
Yeah.
It's Pantaleon.
And then what else? You got your run.
And then we got our run. I don't know why you haven't signed up yet. I have no excuses for you anymore. Tim, why haven't you signed up? You're not getting laid. Your time's free.
Tim, if
I've
you
been
showed that
running.
you were physically active, that could be good for the profile
Yeah.
too.
It's a
I've
better
been
profile
running.
pic.
GrandRunningClub.com.
Not quite the distances that.
Maybe get a little group together.
You have
It'll
2
look
months
like
to train.
You have
Isn't
2
that the
months
best part about the marathon is that you can choose which distance, right? You can do a 5K,
I'm doing
Yeah.
the 1K.
10K, have
That's a
a
Time's
marathon.
going to be terrible.
By the way, Tim, you have a finisher pick.
Oh, sweating. You know what girls like? Guys that can set their minds on a goal and accomplish it.
Yes, shows that you're competitive. You're a man,
You're a man. You're a sweaty, sweaty man.
not just like a pussy playing guitar.
And sipping IPAs. Oh my God. I like this storyline. We need to build on this whole Tim
Yeah,
thing. Okay. Is that all we got?
that's it.
That's all we got. Paul, listen, we did our best. The shout outs ran long, but we're getting better.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to try to keep it under an hour in the future, but we said that too about a year ago, and then we just said,
Yeah.
fuck it. Josh, thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure. Everyone
Always
go
fun.
use that promo code. It's not going to last long because Josh is very conservative, let's say.
yeah.
Conservative leaning.
I'm fiscally conservative
Yes.
when it comes
Not
to
a
our
plan
discount
of
codes.
higher taxes, but that's a different story. And we will see you guys at the end of the week.